Sean Myers of the Westmoreland Sports Network, joined by the newest member of the Baltimore Orioles, Craig Lewis, Seton Hill center fielder, drafted in the 33rd round, 978th overall. First off, congratulations, Craig. What did it feel like when you heard your name called today?
Thank you, and it felt pretty awesome. You know, it was kind of like waiting all day. We'd heard some things, got some phone calls, and it felt great to finally get that call and see my name pop up.
Did you have a pretty good idea going into today that you would be drafted at some point, or did it surprise you a bit?
We had a pretty good idea that it would happen. We just weren't really sure when.
What was your reaction when you found out it was the Baltimore Orioles? Was a team that you maybe had talked to previously, or had you not really had much communication with them prior to today?
That's a great team. I'd love to play for the Baltimore Orioles, and I had talked to them before. I actually did a workout for them last week. I knew it was an option, and I'm happy they picked me.
Talk a little bit about that workout, because I know it was a rough collegiate season for you. You were injured very early, I believe, in the first game, and then you had some pinch hitting opportunities, but really could not get back in the rhythm for the majority of the season. I'm sure you had a lot to prove over the last couple of weeks that you are back and healthy and ready to go, correct?
Yeah, it was tough not playing for most of the year. It was good to get back on the field, especially in the conference tournament. But I got invited out to Camden Yards in Baltimore for just like a showcase type workout and performed pretty well, and I guess good things happened from there.
How have you been able to overcome these injuries that have really derailed your sophomore and junior years? Because everyone knows the season you had as a freshman, but you've had a hard time staying on the field. That being said, the fact that you're drafted proves that you've been able to battle through those obstacles.
I think a main part of it is just my love for the game. You know, after my freshman year, having that success, I wanted to improve upon that. And last year, I played 14 games before I broke my hand. This year, I played in one game and hurt my hamstring. But just wanting to get to be on that field, especially in a Griffin uniform, is one of the reasons that I'm in this position today.
Speaking about being in a Griffin's uniform, you have eligibility left, but now being drafted, is it fair to say that you will be moving on to the professional ranks starting in a couple of days here?
Yeah, it's very likely that I'll take my offer.
Have you looked back already? I know everything, I'm sure, is moving quickly, but have you looked back on your time at Seton Hill? As I mentioned, you had 3 years there in Greensburg. An opportunity to reflect it all?
I think it's honestly invaluable to look back and say that I wish I would have gone somewhere else, because I think going to Seton Hill was the best decision I made in my life. And Coach Cannon and Coach Sullivan and even Coach Foe, when he was still there, those guys instilled some things in me that I'm going to have in me for the rest of my life. Just being a hard worker and never quitting, and just they showed me a way to play the game that I'm hoping to carry through the rest of my career.
I had the chance to talk to Coach Maz. He said he thinks at this point you're probably a four-tool player, which is pretty good, and you've done a lot of work to improve the arm as well. What do you think your greatest attribute is on the field?
I'd say speed. I think my speed's a big part of my game. I do pretty well putting the ball in play, and my speed, I think, is what gets me on base a lot of the time.
Is there one particular area you need to really prove at the professional level to have success?
I'm still working on improving my arm. I think that could be a big asset to my game if I were to get a little more outfield velocity to be able to throw some guys out.
Do you project as an outfielder at the professional ranks, and in particular a center fielder, or have you even thought about that at this point?
I think it would likely be in center field, but I've played all three positions within my last 3 years of college ball. So,
what's the time frame if you do sign a contract with the Orioles for when you get things started and where you might be headed?
I've only had one phone call with my heirs tonight. He didn't really mention where I would be going. I just know in the next few days I'll kind of have a better idea about what I'll be doing.
You had a teammate in Perry Della Valle who was drafted a year ago. That was a big moment for Seton Hill, and now the Griffins have players taken in back-to-back years. Did you have any communication with him, whether it be in recent weeks or even dating back to last year, about this process and what maybe you can expect?
Yeah, I actually worked out with him a few times over the winter and talked to him then, and I got a phone call from him today congratulating me, and we talked for a little bit. But definitely going to be a guy I go to talk if I got any questions.
What should the fans of the Baltimore Orioles know about what they're getting in Craig Lewis?
I like to have fun.
Yeah, we have certainly seen that over the years. Lastly, I know I said reflecting back on Seton Hill, but any message you want to have for the Griffins faithful, whether it be the fans, the alumni, the players or coaches alike that have been with you over the past 3 years?
I can't thank them enough for all the support. Even when I was healthy, even when I was hurt, I always had teammates, alumni, parents, coaches always supporting me to keep working out, to get healthier, to keep playing well on the field. So.
That's Craig Lewis, drafted by the Baltimore Orioles today in the 33rd round of the MLB draft. Craig, thank you so much and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you for having me.